Level 1. The Condemned Wizard. 3 a.m. Your spreadsheet blurs. You shut your eyes for 10 seconds and wake up to fire. You open your eyes to a bright, choking nightmare. You smell it first. It is a sharp mix of sulfur, dry straw, and burning wood. Rough ropes tie your hands behind your back. You cannot move. You are tied to a giant wooden pole in the middle of a muddy square. A heavy wooden board hangs on your neck. Ugly red letters call you a curse bringer. Below you, 400 starving, angry people scream for your blood. They throw stones. A few hit your chest and shoulders through your thin clothes. The local priest wears pure white robes. He lowers a burning torch to the oily wood at your feet. The fire is about to catch. But then, you feel the air change. You hear low thunder far away. Your modern brain knows a big summer storm is coming right now. You are tied tight, but your mind is clear. You do not fight the ropes. You look up at the sky and scream at the crowd. Fools, you yell. If I am a curse, why does the sky cry for me? Your fire cannot burn me. Right then, a huge rainstorm hits the square. It only rains for 1 minute, but it is very heavy. You get completely wet. The rain hits the oily wood. It hisses loud. Thick white steam and smoke go up instead of hot fire. You know this is just weather, but the hungry people think it is dark magic. The crowd screams in panic. They drop their stones and run. Some fall to their knees in the mud, shaking. The angry priest yells at the guards. He tells them to use dry wood to start the fire again. The hot steam makes you want to cough. You hold it in. You stand tall in the white smoke. You stare at the guards with cold eyes. You are not hurt at all. The guards shake. They hold their spears but do not step forward. The town boss watches from a high stage. He sees the panic. He is scared too, but he cannot just let a wizard go free. So, he yells to stop the burning. He tells the guards to throw you in the dark dungeon. He says you will face a new trial later. Level 2, the dungeon survivor. The town boss throws you into a deep hole under the castle. It is completely dark. The air smells like death. You are trapped in a wet stone box with 7 other people. The floor is cold mud. In just 10 days, a terrible stomach sickness hits the cell. 5 people die. They clutch their bellies in pain and go still. You hear rats in the dark. They wait for the next body. The silence after the screams is the worst part. It tries to break your mind. Every 2 days, a small window opens. Guards drop a dirty wooden bucket of river water and hard bread. Drinking that dirty water means death. You have to fight back. You scrape white ash off the stone walls from old torches. You mix the ash with a little spit. It burns your hands. The heat hurts, but you know basic chemistry. This makes simple soap. It kills the unseen germs. You wash your hands before you eat. You grab a sharp piece of wood. You point it at the 2 living men. Keep your space clean and wash your hands, you say in a cold voice, or we all die. You glare at them like a killer. They nod fast. They are more scared of you than the sickness. You make them sit far away. For a full day, you wait for the muck in the bucket to settle. You only drink the top water. 2 weeks later, the guards come down to clear the dead bodies. They freeze. You are sitting in the corner. You are very skinny, but you are alive and healthy. You beat the dark. Level 3, the Undying Scullery Freak. They think you are a freak who cannot die. The big boss of the land, Lord Vane, takes you out. He puts you to work in his kitchens. You work 16 hours every single day. You stand in dirty, freezing water. Your back screams in pain. Your feet are covered in bleeding blisters. The cooks throw all trash and dirty dishwater right into a ditch. That ditch runs right past the drinking well. Soon, the house servants get very sick. They throw up constantly. It is a bad water bug. You know exactly what is wrong. The dirty water is leaking into the well. You have no tools. But you know what boiling water can do. You steal a huge iron pot. You fill it with well water and big chunks of wood ash. You build a massive fire under it. The water boils loud and hot. You grab a heavy brush. You scrub the wooden cutting boards and plates with the boiling ash water. The hot water burns your hands red, but you do not stop. At night, the house is quiet. You go outside in the dark. You dig in the hard dirt with your bare hands. Your fingers bleed. You dig a long trench. You force the dirty kitchen water to flow far away from the well. The head cook catches you. You look him in the eye and lie. You say you are doing a magic spell to trick the sickness demon. He kicks you. He laughs and tells you to get back to washing dishes. But 30 days later, Lord Vane's house is the only place in the valley with healthy people. You saved them all. Level 4, the fake prophet. Lord Vane pulls you out of the kitchen. He thinks you are a powerful wizard. You let him think so. If you talk about science, they will burn you again for bad beliefs. 4 villagers outside the castle are sick. Nearly 200 people are dead. Lord Vane gives you a horse and guards. You ride to the nearest village. You find the cause right away. A big workshop up the river washes clothes with bad dyes. The toxic water goes straight into the river. The villagers drink it directly. You cannot teach them science. They will not understand. So you play their game. You point at the river and yell loud. You say the river spirit is angry and poisoned. You order 40 weak, hungry men to work. You make them carry rocks, sand, and burned wood. You stand over them. You make them build a giant water filter. It takes 3 hard days. You force the river water to run through the rocks and charcoal. Then, you make a strict rule. You tell the village head every drop of water must be boiled for 5 minutes. If anyone drinks unboiled water, your guards will beat them. It breaks your heart. You watch a guard hit a man with a stick. The man cries and falls in the mud. You want to help him, but if you show a soft heart now, they will go back to bad habits and die. You must be tough to break the chain of death. 2 weeks later, the dying stops. You are their scary savior. Level 5, the gambler healer. Word of your magic travels fast. It reaches the king. Royal guards take you to the capital city. The king's best young general is dying. A heavy horse crushed his leg in training. You walk into a huge bedroom. Old royal doctors are there. They put dirty mud on the general's open leg. They call it an ancient secret. The man has a burning fever. He will die very soon from infection. You push the old men away. You pull out a small, clean knife. The doctors yell at you. One tries to grab your arm. You shove him hard. You raise your knife. You look the head guard dead in the eye. If he dies, kill me. But let me work now. You take off the dirty mud. You wash the wound with clean, boiled water. You carefully cut away the dead flesh. The strong general wakes up and groans in pain. You say sorry, but your hands do not stop. You must clean it all. Your heart beats crazy fast, but your hands are perfectly steady. You are betting your life on this. You ask for pure honey, just sweet, clean honey. You pack the deep cut with it. The heavy sugar sucks out water and kills the bad germs. You wrap the leg in clean, boiled white cloth. You sit by the bed. You do not sleep for 2 days. You just watch him. On the 3rd day, the general opens his eyes. His fever is gone. He asks for a drink. You beat the old doctors. You won the gamble. Level 6, enemy of the capital. The king gives you a heavy gold ring. You are now the boss of city health, but the capital is a dirty mess. 50,000 people live here. They throw poop and trash right into the streets. It is a time bomb. You make a massive new law. You force the city to build stone pipes under the ground to move the waste. You also order all foreign ships to wait in the water for 40 days before unloading. This 40-day wait is not magic. It is the old quarantine rule that stops plague before it starts. The rich merchants are furious. You are costing them gold. They want you dead. You lock your heavy door at night. You sleep with a knife in your hand. Every shadow looks like a killer. Every small noise makes you jump. You trust no one. You are exhausted, but you fight back. You do not use swords. You use math. You march into the king's great hall. You slam a big book of numbers on his table. You tell him the hard truth. 30 out of every 100 soldiers get sick from bad water before a war even starts. Sick people do not fight. Sick people do not pay taxes. The king understands money and power. He nods. He forces the rich merchants to pay for your pipes. You fix the city. But you just made very rich, very dangerous enemies in the dark. Level 7, the final scapegoat. Your enemies strike back hard. The rich merchants use your own rules against you. They park their food ships outside the harbor. They refuse to unload the grain. They say your 40-day rule makes it impossible. They make an artificial famine. In 1 week, the city has no bread. People are starving, scared, and angry. The rich men pay priests to point that anger at a target. They do not attack you directly. They target a girl. She is your brave helper. She helped you build the water filters. They drag her to the main square. They tie her to a post. They put dry wood at her feet. 5,000 starving people scream at her. They say she used black magic to rot the food ships. The king is scared of the mob. He does nothing. You run for the square. Shove your way through the screaming, angry crowd. The fire catches. You see pure terror in the girl's eyes. Your old nightmares playing out right in front of you. Step straight into the eye of the madness. You hold up your royal gold ring. Roar at the top of your lungs. Stop. You do not use logic. You use their fear. You point at the crying girl. She has the white ash sickness. You yell, burn her, and the smoke will blow the plague into your lungs. Your children will choke on blood by morning. The angry crowd freezes. They are terrified of the unseen death. You stomp out the fire with your boots. You grab the girl's arm. I will lock her deep in the dungeon. You lie loud to the crowd. Her sickness will not spread. The people step back in fear. They cover their mouths. You pull her out of the square. She cries silently. She grips your hand so hard. Her nails cut your skin, ending the broken system. You walk out of the city gates. The sun goes down. You look back at the high stone walls. You saved thousands of lives, but you learn a hard, cold truth. You can clean their water. You can wash their hands, but you cannot clean their minds. When people are hungry and scared, they will always find someone to blame. Always. You drop it in the dirt. You are done playing their game. This place is broken. It is built on stupidity and run by fear. It is a machine that eats weak people. You look at the girl next to you. She is still shaking. She asks where you are going. You put a hand on her shoulder. You look at the wild, dark forest ahead. They want us to act like animals, you say. They want us to kill each other in the dark. But we are going to find people who will listen. We will teach them how to stay human. The road will be brutal, but it is the only way to stay human when the world wants you to be a monster.